And welcome everyone to game number 4 of the Winners Bracket Finals here in the MSL Code Platinum. We have in the bottom left-hand corner of the map the randoming player now spawning as Zerg. Quixoticism. He was down 0-2 at the very beginning of this series, and he's won the last game with a very convincing anti-4 gate playing as Protoss. And now he's back up. He's got a little bit of momentum. Can he keep that going as he's trying to fight this uphill battle, as he's currently down 2-1 to this red Protoss player who goes by the name EQBisu. So EQBisu so far has shown a very strong kind of preference towards the kind of fast, aggressive one-base builds. So we're going to see what exactly happens, but we've got, what do we have here? We have a lot of drones coming out. We have a very early scout from EQBisu, because remember, Quixoticism is in fact a random player, and random can be very, very difficult to predict, as it turns out. For instance, if a spawning pool had already been thrown down, it would have been almost done. We do have a spawning pool, so we're gonna go. He's gonna go pool gas. That's a little bit gutsy. So he's gonna go for early game. Well, his opponent EQBisu is going to be throwing that down, going to be getting that wall off completed, as against Zerg and Protoss. Walls are pretty effective. Against Terran, you basically don't want them because everything that Terran has is ranged. But Zealots and Zerglings are not ranged, and you can shoot at them from behind walls. So we're going to have speed coming up a little while after the spawning pool finishes. It's not going to be too long. And it looks like there's no intent for an expansion anywhere in the cards. I think this is going to be an aggressive one-base build. That's going to happen. We have Zerglings in production already. Not very many, though. He's a little bit broke. He's also supply blocked. That could also be a little bit of a factor. We also don't see a cybernetics core yet. Okay, there we go. So nothing crazy. We're just having a very standard as standard does game. And, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, swap the players. The player's keeping me on my toes, which is code for stop switching sides. It really is not frustrating. It just makes it more difficult. We do have a scouting Zergling going out. I love the scouting single Zergling. Hopefully he goes and lives here, or goes and checks the front of the base. Love that. We do have the probe here checking to see if that expansion is down, and since it's not, he's going to go ahead and find his way in. I say it like the probe has a gender. It's a robot, so not entirely clear what gender that would be. I feel like that might be something you need to work out as a Protoss player. This is a 4-player map, and so Quixoticism is checking, although many times I don't know if I've ever seen a same-side game. I think it might be forced cross-spawns in 1v1. I'd have to check on that. Speed is almost done. We're going to see a Baneling nest. No, there's not enough gas. We do see Roach Warren. So is he going to go for a 5 Roach? Yes, it looks like he's going to go for a 5 Roach Rush. That could do a lot of damage. There's not a lot of production out of EQBisu as of yet, and I'm a little bit surprised that when he saw that his opponent was Zerg, he didn't go ahead and try to get an expansion down, as you can do. Even a delayed Forge Fast Expand is easier to push out than not. These roaches are going to be on their way quick. They, in fact, are on their way already, and 5 roaches oftentimes beat 2 Zealots. There is a Mothership Core out. I don't think it'll have enough energy by the time the attack hits, although it depends. This is a large map. It's going to take quite a long time for these to get here. The roaches scuttling their way across the map, going to try to make something happen. The Zerglings here trying to keep everything going, trying to keep his opponent guessing. We do have the robotics facility just about done. The robotics facility is going to be super important in defending against this Roach Rush. And now we have a whole bunch of Speedlings on their way and an expansion. So this is not an all-in attempt by Quixoticism. Instead, this is an aggressive. Oh, and the Roaches are going to find the Zealots when they're out and about. And this is going to be super bad. The Zerglings are in fact on their way in. The Zealots are already taken out. The Workers are going to be absolutely ravaged by 14 Lings. And looking at the Workers killed, 10, 13, 14, 16. So, excellent play. So it looks like Quixoticism is going to bring back the hurt to EQBisu, simply with 2 very aggressive one-base plays to counter the one-base plays that that we've seen so far out of EQBisu. So analyzing that game, I like the fact that this was not an actual all-in. Even before we go and look at the workers killed, he was down in workers, as you'd expect to be based on an aggressive build like that, but there was a follow-up plan. There was additional expansions. There were drones in production at the time. So the attack was going to peter out at this point in time either way. And I feel like, you know, what happened to EQBisu is kind of what happened to Quixoticism early on. So now we are all tied up, and now we're going to see who gets to take match point. This could be interesting. And so far, I'd like to say this is like the fastest set of games I've casted like ever. This one is 6 minutes and 38 seconds. My goodness. It's I'll be honest, it's a little bit easier than hour-and-a-half games. Let's just say that. Anyway, we're going to be back in just a minute with game number 5. So stay on your toes.